Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. So this is part 2 video on .NET 7 Razor Pages CRUD sample using one-to-many relationship table with the help of EFCore. Previously, we have implemented DB context and its configurations, right? Now let's implement a read operation, okay, where we are going to fetch our data from parent and child table as well, okay? So to implement the read operation, let me create new Razor page, okay? So inside of the pages, I will create a new folder like employee. Okay, inside of this employee, I want to create a Razor page like employee index. Okay, so we know we will have two files employee index.cs html.cs file, which is a model file, employee index.cs html, which is a view file. We have to create two files. So first, let me create the model file. Okay, employee index.cs html.cs. Okay, here is our model employee index, and it should inherit the page model that loads from Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.MVC.Razor pages. Okay, first thing, let's inject our DB context into the constructor of our model. Okay, first let me create a read-only variable like my old DB context. Okay, and inherit the namespace and create add the constructor and inject the my old DB context. Okay, here. Okay. In general, Razor Page model supports two kind of methods like on get async, on post async. So these are like lifecycle methods. On get async get executed for get request. On post async method executes for post method. Okay. Now I am going to create a get async method to load the page. In that method, I am going to call my employee table data. Okay. Okay. So in this page, let me display only my employee table data. Okay. The parent table, only employee data. I'm not going to retrieve the employee addresses. I'm going to read only employee data. Okay. So let's create our method like public async task action result. Import the namespace. Okay, on get async. Okay, this is the lifecycle method which gets executed for uh, get requests. Okay, so here let's import the namespace here. Okay, so this method should be either on get or on get async. Okay, if you want to customize this method name, you can do that. But you should do like this on get and your custom name. Okay, but one more thing is if you use your custom name like this, then you have to pass your custom name as a query parameter handler. Okay, that is why never try to customize the names of the Razor Pages methods. If you are absolutely desperate, then you can do. There is an option, just I have shown, right? But the method name must be passed as a query parameter, and query parameter key name will be handler. To that handler, you have to pass your method name. Okay. And now I want to fetch the data from the database. So I can use my old DB context dot. I want to fetch only employees, right? Employee dot to list async. Okay. So this async loads from EFCore. Let's import the namespace. Okay, what it will do means it will do select star from employee table. Okay, since it is async, right? Await. So I want to store this data into some variable and I want to bind it to my UI. So for that, let me create a model variable. Okay, public, and its type is employee, right? So employee, since employee folder name is getting conflicted, so I need to give the full namespace. Okay, sample data entities dot employee. I will name it like all employees because I am going to display all employees, right? In that case, it should be a collection, this variable. Okay, to this variable, I am going to assign my records from the database. Okay, and finally, we can simply return the page, means render the razor view page. Okay, that is my get method. This will be rendered for get request and page will be loaded. Okay, so I have done with the model. Now I have to work on view. So let's create a view for this. So to employee index.cshtml is my view. Okay, the first thing is I have to specify the route for this razor page. I can do this in the view. In general, in MVC, we will have a controller, right, where we can define route. So in razor pages, in the HTML page, we can define the route. So for that, I can use page directive slash. It should be prefixed with slash, whatever route you are going to give. Okay, employee slash index. This is my route name. And here I have to map the model. This is my employee index is my model, right? I have to define it. So here model equal to, okay, I have defined the model. Now what I will do here in this variable, I am storing all the employees data, right? I am going to loop and bind it on the UI. For that, I am going to render a bootstrap table. Okay, first let me add a container, okay, and a row. Inside of it, let me add a bootstrap table. So let's go to bootstrap website. So here is the bootstrap website, right? Let's go to the tables. Okay. Here you can see the tables in the content menu and copy any one of the sample example. I'm going to copy this table. Okay. Copy it, add it here. Now let's add the table rows and columns. Okay. For full example, go to top. Okay. Copy this table header and table body. Okay, so here let's populate the column names. So what are the names of our table? First name, last name, job role, right? So here I will save ID. Okay, first name, last name, job role. Okay, those are my static columns. Now I have to loop the table rows. So for that I can remove the additional dummy table rows. Okay, I can keep one table row. Now I have to loop it. Okay, every record one row will be added. For that I can use rather syntax of for each loop. So at the rate for each. Okay, here I can retrieve the all employees like model. Okay, so model is nothing but our employee index class. Dot whatever the properties we have inside of it, we can access it. So all employees. Okay, EMP. So let's copy this entire table row inside of the for each. Okay, and let's bind the data. So I can use at the rate to dynamically bind the data emp.id. Okay, @emp dot first name p dot last name emp dot job role. Okay, that's it. Let's test by accessing our page. Okay, let's run the application. So here you can see my sample Razor page is running. Okay, and let's navigate to my employee Razor page. We know the route, right? So copy that route. Okay, and try to access it. See, I'm able to see the record now. We are getting only employee table. To confirm that we are not calling the child table, we can see the uh, query that was generated by our EFCore. So here calling tool is async, right? On get async. So if you open the terminal, you can see the logs of our EFCore, and here you can see select columns here: ID, first name, job name, last name, but there is no child table connection. That means only employee table got invoked. Okay. Next, what we are going to do here, I am going to add one more column here, and there I am going to add a link like details. So on clicking that details, we are going to details place. In that case, I am going to call both parent and child table. Okay, here parent is employee, right? Employee and its addresses also I am going to display on the details page. Okay, so let's create new pages in the employee folder like employee details, employee details dot cs html.cs means that is my model. Here is our employee page model. Okay, first let's inject the my old DB context here as well. So let me copy paste from the index page. Okay, and add it in my details page and change the constructor name. Okay, and import our my old DB context namespace. Okay, we are done with the injecting the my old DB context. And let's create a variable to hold our data that we are going to fetch from the database. So for that, what I will do, I will, I will create a variable, model variable like so dot seven razor cut sample data dot entities dot employee. Okay, employee details. Okay, this is my property name I am going to hold. Okay, now we know we have to create on get async method, right? So public, okay, public async task I action result, okay, on get async method. Okay, import the I action result, and our get async method should contain a query parameter like ID because we have to filter the employee from the employee table, right? So I am going to have a query parameter like ID here. Okay, now let's frame the entity framework core in such a way that along with the particular employee, all its tail table records means addresses collection must be retrieved. Okay, so for that I can write a query like await my old DB context dot employee dot where apply the where condition to pick the specific employee. Okay, and then I have to include, right? Include. Okay, include loads from NT framework. Sorry, include. Okay, so what this include will do means import the NT framework namespace. Okay, And here we have to specify the navigation property. We know the navigation property employee addresses, right? Employee, and I can call tool is testing. Okay. So what this include will do means it will do a join with employee table, make a join with employee address table. Okay, and finally filters the by employee ID. That means we are going to get both employee and the employee addresses records. Okay, so include you have to import the entity framework core namespace to use this method. Okay, include method. And we have to assign it to the employee details variable. Okay, so it is not two list here, single employee, right? Employee has multiple collection employee addresses. So here we have to use first star default. Okay, and finally return the page. So here first star default is sync. And here employee details and our model names are conflicting. So let me change the employee details to employee data. Okay, this variable name. Let's create the HTML file. Okay, so employee details. Copy this and create a new file. Okay, first thing is I have to define the route for my employee details page. Okay, page and employee slash details. Query parameter automatically can be read by the on get async. We no need to specify any placeholder here. Okay, and we need to map the model and rather cut sample pages employee details. Okay, let's add a container row and column. Okay, here call MD6. Okay, offset MD3. I want to display my content in center 6 columns of the page, and I want to leave 3 columns on each side of the page. Okay, here let me add a bootstrap card to display my data. So here go for cards. Here is the cards. Okay, and here I can copy these cards, add it here, and let me remove the width of the card. And I don't have any image tag. Let me remove it. And here title. So I want to render my employee data here. I want to render my employee name here. Okay. So name will be so at the rate model dot employee data dot first name at the rate model dot employee data dot last name. Okay, so let me remove the text and let me add one more card title here for job role. Okay, so let me add H6 and add this card title. Okay, and job role, and here let me bind it like model dot employee data dot job role. And now we have employee addresses as a collection, right? We have to loop it. Okay. So for that, what I can do here, remove this. Here, let me add a for each. Okay. Here I am going to loop the model dot employee data dot employee addresses. And here it will be a address. Okay. And here let me add a one more card, okay, to display the address. So I will take a card with header. Let me take this. Okay. In the CRUD header, let me render the type of address. So address at the rate address dot address type and normal string. Okay, type of address like home or office address heading I want to display. And here no title, no need anything in the remove everything. And here let's simply display city and country. Okay, at the rate address dot city and country at the rate address dot country. Okay, that's it. Now I can access my details page and I can display the both employee and employee addresses. Okay, so one to many relationship we are accessing here using the join query. So join can be done with the include method of the EFCore. Okay, now one more thing we have to do in the index page. Let me add a one more column like actions. So index.html. Here let me create one more column actions. And here one more TD. And inside of this TD, I want to display a anchor tag. Okay, and details. Okay, I have to map the route of my employee details. To do that, I can use the tag helpers. So ASP hyphen page. So here we have to specify the name of the page. Okay, so here you can see select the name of the page. So my page I want to select is details. Sorry, details page. No need to specify .chtml. Simple name of the page. On rendering, what it will do means it will fetch the route inside of this page. Details page what we have employee slash details page that will be rendered here. But we have a query parameter, right? To add query parameter, we can use another decorator like ASP route hyphen. Here we have to specify the name of our query parameter. So what is the name of our query parameter? ID. So copy this, okay, and add it here. And it should be dynamic value. We know that employee ID. Okay, that's it. Let's test it. And here you can see the details link. And if you inspect element, you can see href is added. Okay, and here route is not rendered dynamically in the as a query parameter. Okay, here small correction. It is route TE. Okay, let's check again. Now you can see ID as a query parameter dynamically added. Now if I click on this link, I will navigate to my details page. See, employee name, employee role, and here you can see addresses, home address and office address. Right? That means I am able to retrieve both employee and its child table. One to many relationship table are accessed here. If I check how the query is generated, okay, select star, okay, and it is joined with employee address table. Okay, you can see here join query. That's all about how to read the parent and child table which are in one to many relationship. Next, we are going to implement the create operation. With single create operation, we are going to insert into both the parent and the child tables. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video delivered some useful content to you all. If you like the video, please do support me by subscribing my channel as well as by liking the video. Soon we are going to meet with new content. Until then, signing off.